Hey everybody. So the last video, I was sort of focused on, oh, I didn't start the application npm start. Um, Basically what was happening, what the issue is that I haven't really done any validation on the forms, and a density can only be a positive floating point number. And I basically have it set up to where a density could be anything right now. And I did write a little bit of code to prevent like anything breaking if you typed in like some weird letter like A or something in here, but it never, but nothing to prevent that. And I think that, it was a good idea to do it. So I went to ChatGPT and it came up with some ideas. Let's just kind of quickly go over that. So basically, they're saying, hey, you need to create a function of in some way. They don't really give you specifically the step that the spoon. They don't spoon feed you. And I did ask for the wrong thing because I really wanted a positive floating number. And then the this is uh, almost like, so I think this line of code I would rather return a zero, a density of zero, if they make it a empty string or if it's a null. And then this is only checking that. So basically, I think so this is like sort of what nightmares are made of. Because what happens a lot of times, most places I ever work, like an architect gets a pretty good idea of like creating a series of objects that have like different things in it, and typically they'll have like attributes. One of the attributes will be like the regex, and one will be like whatever. Um, and then you start trying to pass these functions around, and then like you lose context, and then it's just an absolute nightmare of like, why doesn't this work? It works if I do this, but it doesn't work if I do that, and then it's just it's like I said, it's kind of what nightmares are made of. But so I don't know. I'll probably create like a service, and I'll do that in this video that just has some functions, and then import those functions um, so that they can be used. Um, I might expand it and kind of create um, a object later, so that things make sense. And I would really, and the thing that's so desirable about having like an object is then you can have like yeah, so I will do that, but you can have like all kinds of other information and useful things. But what ends up really being hard is the context. The context, the way this is used here, like there's just no telling how this is used and what the context is going to be when it gets executed. Um, so yeah, you can have some really unusual and difficult to debug bugs. Um, and then, so I think, yeah, these are the 4 steps. They don't really quite spoon feed you on it. And I am using the wrong validation, which later on we get the correct validation down here. Um, so let's just start. Let's just get started with a thing. Oh, so like, yeah, so I got a like in the last 3. So, and the last video was a short video again, fairly short video, relatively short video. So I'm not sure if, and so for me, uh, today, right now for me is Thursday. So that means Wednesday of this week, Tuesday of this week, and Monday of this week, my videos got a like, and they were shorter videos. So that means the shorter videos are getting more likes, but I don't know if I just picked up a new subscriber that is now actively liking things, or if it is communication saying, hey, I like the shorter videos. I'm voting for shorter videos. So I don't know. I'm gonna kind of try to stay shorter though, and we'll see what happens. But so the first step is always for me is to go into the packages um, file. So I control P and then type in PACK, yeah, package.json. And I believe I have one example, so service utils, and then I'm going to call this UI validation. UI dash validation. Because I'm assuming I'm going to have other validations for other things in the future. So these are UI specific validations. And then UI val service. All right, so now I have this little script that I have, and it calls the, the correct compiler and CLI. So it's going to call the version 18.02 CLI. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to type in. Okay, and I always like to visualize what's going to happen. So basically, I should get a new service in here, and it is kind of funny how like I didn't have utils, and then I've added this recycle sequence number service, and then this math service, and now suddenly we're just getting all services. And I think that does show that that's kind of how things go. Typically, what happens is you create once you need something, you've passed some sort of threshold, and now you need it a lot. So utils, once if I get to 5 different services, so 10 different files, then I'll start strongly considering adding an additional layer, a directory, in order to keep things well segment or well divided up. So npm run UI val service, and I think that looks right. And yeah, there they are. And so now basically inside of my validation service, I'm just going to export this function. It is interesting. Oh yeah, so that, so I'm just going to do this. So that is weird, and it's good that I named it UI validation, because these are UI specific things. And at some point in these utils, I'll probably will break it out into UI validation. So I guess I just can't copy and paste everything. So we'll just do this. And I think this is like a really good way to do this, but I'm not 100% on that. Like I said, I've seen some fairly decent, seen some pretty not so great implementations of these things. So I don't even know. So this is a function. I think I can do that. Yeah, so it doesn't like that in a class. It doesn't like that word function. So I could create something that returns this function. So I could create like get positive floating point validator. I think I am really a bit like out of my depth at the moment, and this is kind of exciting. It's a little bit weird doing it live in a video function, and then I'm going to return a function, and I'm just going to do this return. And what's nice about this is that so it doesn't like that. Did you mean function? Is that what I meant? Is that really what I meant? And it's happy? That's funny. All right, so basically the nice thing about this is I can then like add some sort of variables and stuff that can pass through this. Um, so one thing that you got to keep in mind whenever you see the keyword function, that, and this gave us this, that means something that's a bit subtle and most people don't understand, and that's that the keyword function tells tells the JavaScript compiler, transpiler, I don't know what that's called, the thing that takes in Java, in the browser, the V8 engine, it tells it to create a new variable, and that new variable that it's supposed to create is this. So that means, like, if you did like a console log this here, you'll get something different than if you did a console log this there. And that's because the keyword function tells it to create a new this. So if I have like a const hello equals hi, and then I console log hello, I believe, I'm pretty 99% sure you'll get hi. It'll have a reference to this hello. But if I said, like, up here, and then I said console log this dot hello. Well, see, it even catches it. It's like that's not going to work. Implicity. Yeah. See, like this is not. It gets changed anytime it sees that function call. And doing it this way is kind of nice because it's sort of like it makes it to where it could catch it, and because like it makes it where it's more reasonable. So alternatively, I believe, let's just say this, I believe that I can go like this. Oops. Return. So I think I can go like, function is equal to, I don't know exactly what I'm doing wrong here. Is it upset about any? Oh, okay. No, I think what I need to do is this. Oh. Silly rabbit. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing wrong here, but because control value. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, like if I could end up using what I've always been led to call a fat arrow, but I have heard some people call it a lambda. I thought a lambda was a one-liner by default, but yeah, so you can use those and it won't create a new this. But I don't know if you can do that in this context, and I don't know if it's worth trying to figure that out. But anyways, so basically, I am telling it to create this function that returns either an abstract, a validation errors function, or object, which is, I guess, a key and a string and any, or a null. That's what I'm allowing. So I think I could change this to 0. I don't know. I don't see. Yeah. So moved out of. This is not. It's so easy to get confused. Okay, so this is not, I don't think, okay, let's go back to the, okay, so this is how this function is used, and then this whole system, whatever here, behind the scenes, knows how to use that. So it should be a null or a zero. I got a null or one of these validator functions, one of these um, validator errors things, right? So, and then I created something. I guess we created something called invalid float, which I think is completely up to us. We knew there was nothing that was required, but we're saying that it's either this thing that we're going to call invalid float, and then we're just going to give this thing, and don't know what the heck's happening to it behind the scenes. It's just going to use, the form control is going to use this function, and we can have an array of them. And in this specific case, it'll return something called invalid float. And then we're saying that we're going to show this error if invalid float, which is tied to here. So I'll probably change that to invalid positive float, and then I will need to correspondingly change that there. And then we are going to use this, we're going to create a function called validate key press inside the component. And it's going to check against this same thing, which, like, this drives a lot of architects insane, because we have like this duplication, right? We have this up here, which is saying that you can use a positive or a negative, and it kind of looks like, oh, okay. So what this is going to allow us, I guess this is actually a different thing. So we have two different regexes, right? We have this allowed characters that is only executed on the key press, and it prevents the user from, I believe, entering more than one positive. It'll only let you type in the characters 0 through 9, and I guess one thing. So let's see which one. Okay, so, oh, and I guess this minus, it'll allow you to put this minus. So let's go down here and just say, what does do? And then I don't know if I have to, let's try enter. Oh, see, I was able to hit enter there. There's a certain size where you can't hit it. Okay, start. Is designed to match a single character that can be a digit, or, okay. Okay, so basically, okay. So we're saying that on key press, we're going to send this event. We're going to take this keyboard event. Oh, and we're going to get the specific code value. So it is different. And see, this is the thing that a lot of architects will get sort of caught up in, is they want to return an object that sort of has one of these in it and then one of these in it, and then usually they also want to return like this in it, right? They want to make it very, very generic. And where the nightmare begins is here, because you don't have access, like the context in there is unpredictable. It's consistent. It is the kind of thing that technically there's an outside chance that it might change when you do an upgrade. Like, they might change the way they handle this stuff behind the scenes. That could change the way the context is working. You could come up with some crazy workaround sort of thing that works for you until you do an upgrade. And then, like, a lot of times, I know the Angular team watches out for like anti patterns like that. When they see that people are doing some kind of crazy anti pattern, they will on the next upgrade put a stop to that. So, anyways, I'm trying to keep this shorter, 20 minutes. Sorry. Happy coding, everybody. Next time we will try to do this piece. Bye.